when was it? Like 2 weeks ago. I was like talking for the podcaster, right? And then a piece of paint fell off the roof and fell onto my head, and I actually did thought it was concrete. I don't know why.
All that and a whole lot more on this episode.
Welcome back to Municipality.
On this episode, we're going to catch you up on what we've been up to since our podcast began.
First, we have been sharing some memories from the old Winter Hill.
And then the roof started to leak, right? And I think it was raining the day before or the day of, but it started to leak, right? And then we're like, oh, okay, like we didn't think anything of it, and then we put a bucket under it. But then after a while, it kept leaking and leaking. So we're like, oh no. So then they told us to move rooms. So we had to move. That was a uniform.
The Winter Hill was never was like a good building. Like there was always issues with it, and the concrete was like the big thing that made us like finally get attention to our school building.
That was scary.
It was so embarrassing because it was on the news. Like imagine your school being on the news for like being ghetto. That's crazy.
And I think it also like flooded at one point, so not exactly the best vacation destination.
And I also miss doing like the breakfast work in the morning with the breakfast in the room and stuff.
We've talked about how we're doing in year 2 at Edgerly.
Because the building is really small and the students don't really get a way to get their energy out. Like
it's very difficult from going to like a decent sized building to a smaller building, and then to having from like 3 playgrounds to only like to no playground. It's very difficult.
Like at Winter Hill, the old Winter Hill, we had a bigger space to like play. We had a field. We had like a big library.
It's been very annoying because for the kids who live far away, we live far, we can't get to school as close.
Like the cafeteria in our old school was a lot bigger, so we could have like our own lunch times. Everyone had their own stuff. Now we're cramped in with 7th grade.
The Winter Hill has better resources than the Edgerly, but the Edgerly probably has safer roofs and probably has no dead rats in a van.
We're a lot closer as a community, so I think that helps with the fact that we don't have as much stuff as we did before, but there is things that we do now have that we didn't have at the old Winter Hill.
I don't know. I just missed the real Winter Hill.
And we reflect on how the building saga affects us.
Remember when I heard that the concrete fell? I just thought, imagine if that was during school, because it was in a stairwell where the stairwell where you would go to the old art room.
And then there was 2 classrooms next to those the stairwell where little kids, yeah.
They probably think that we're a poor school because we can't get our building to be rebuilt.
No. They say our school is like ghetto.
Follow-up question. Why do you think they think that?
You hear it. People like love to start conversations about it because they think we only don't like have a school with like he's the like a playground, a field. They think us we are done a school here. I think this school is not safe for them. Is it?
Like they think that is like not like in the same level of them. They think they are less. Yeah, bro.
Like we're less than other people?
They think that.
It's a lot. But we can't live only in the negative.
So we also talked about what we love about our school and our community.
And there's like a lot of different cultures because the Winter Hill is very diverse.
People are ready to advocate and stand up for what they believe in. They're not just students aren't just kind of sitting and doing nothing. Like y'all are stepping up and taking action for what you need.
The teachers are more nicer in here.
Like we have a really good soccer team.
And that's a really important thing to talk about too.
Because a lot of people like think that there's nothing good since like the building isn't good, but like some things are good, like.
And I think just saying good things about the building instead of bad things would be just overall better for the school's reputation. And
I feel like it's really important just to remember like what you really love about a place before you just remember it as somewhere where you were always upset.
We're basically just like every school. Like the building has nothing to do with what happens inside the building. Like,
And I feel like most people overlook the positive things about the Winter Hill instead, like they focus on the bad.
On Monday, we asked our whole school the same question.
What do you love about the Winter Hill and the Wildcat family?
Hundreds of students and educators respond this week.
Later today, we're going to record the responses for a special Valentine's Day episode, which we will publish this week after break.
Be sure to follow our Instagram at WHCIS 8th grade so you can get all the updates.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Municipality.
Bye.